Hey everybody, this video is going to be another notebook page. Your assignment is going to be to write what I write and draw what I draw. The notebook page is going to be titled Graph Types, and we're going to draw a few different types of graphs that you could encounter in science experiments. The first graph type that you might see is called a line graph. And when appropriate, I want you to label the x and y axis on all of these. The line graph is especially useful when time is the independent variable. If you're seeing if something changes over time, then time is a linear variable. It's constantly changing. So line graphs are especially useful for time. Another very common type of graph that you'll see is a bar graph. Once again, labeling the x and y axis. And always independent variables on the x, dependent variables on the y. But a bar graph can sometimes be shown like this. And if that's the case, your x and y are flipped. Independent variables over here, these are your different groups. And you're showing the dependent variable on the y-axis. Another common type of graph is a pie chart. And a pie chart shows percentages of a whole. So like this would be about 50%. This side would be like 35%, and this would be about 15%, estimating. So pie charts are useful for showing percentages. Another important type of graph is called, and I'm going to draw a little box around that one, because this will be separate from the scatter plot. The scatter plot gives a bunch of independent points of data. So you have all these different data points, a value for x and a value for y. And what you're checking for in a scatter plot, I'm going to do a couple mini scatter plots here, is whether or not it shows a relationship. In this scatter plot, there's a positive relationship. In this scatter plot, there's a negative relationship, because they almost form a line together. Going up for a positive relationship, as x increases, y increases. And in this one, as x increases, y decreases. So this would be a negative relationship. If the dots are just all over the place, then there is no relationship between your variables. Another type of graph that you might encounter is something called a histogram. And a histogram is a special type of bar graph where the bars are touching, and in a histogram the bars are always used to show frequency. So let's say you were sitting on your porch looking for cars to go by, and the different bars could be like the colors of cars. So you got like red, black, yellow, white, and green. The frequency of the various colors of car that go by your house would be shown in a histogram. And I think that's all we're gonna cover for right now. So this is graph types that you want to know how to recognize, how to read. It's important to be able to identify the x and y axis and to know that the x-axis is the independent variable, and the y-axis is the dependent. And that's your notebook page.